Right, it's the 28th of December here at Wild Food UK headquarters, and that means it's leftovers day. I've made a leftover turkey curry which is already in the oven, and because we've got some leftover chestnuts, yummy chestnuts, we're going to do one of our favourite puddings. We're going to make a chocolate and chestnut torte, and Bonnie's going to help me. You ready to help?
Both.
Yes, good, that's good. Right, we've got 150 grams of our chestnuts there, which means, really simply, you need 150 millilitres of milk, 75 grams of caster sugar, 150 grams of unsalted butter, and 150 grams of dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate, your favourite ingredient. And because we've got that amount, we need roughly 3 eggs, which we're going to separate out in a second. I'll see if Bonnie can help me do that. But the first thing we need to do is get the chocolate and the butter melting together in our little homemade bain-marie here. So I don't know if you guys know, but butter always has its measurements on the side, which makes it nice and easy when you're baking to measure how much butter you need. Bonnie, I need you to break up that chocolate, so smash it on the table. Yes, not too hard. Wait.
Breaking it part of it.
Keep breaking it, Papa. Breaking it up. Some hot water in there. And stick that on there. That's not going to take too long. None of the prep for this is going to take too long. And on the other side, we're going to put our 150 grams of chestnuts and 150 ml of milk. There you go. Just going to measure out 75 grams of the caster sugar. About right. Put our 75 grams of caster sugar in there. Right, now do you know how to separate out eggs, Bonnie?
No, but I do know how to pour.
But what we need to do first of all is crack the eggs in half very carefully, and then what you do, Bonnie, is you tip the yolk from one side to the other and see what's going into the bowl below.
The white egg white.
Yeah. And then, when all the white is in the bowl below, we put the yolk in there. So, do you want to have a go? Come around here then.
I don't want to get messy.
Okay. Right, now you can mix that up very carefully, okay? While Bonnie's mixing that up, just going to come over here.
Beep beep.
And obviously you can do this by hand. Just make sure that's on. But if you've got one of these, makes things a bit easier. Not quite. Well, that's a pretty good peak. We just want a few more seconds. You don't want to overbeat your eggs. You want them to do nice peaks like that. Just enough so that when your daughter comes near, you can tip it upside down over her head and nothing falls out. Those are the egg yolks and the sugar.
Tip it upside down on Daddy's head.
Nah, rather you didn't.
I will.
So there you go. As I said, weirdly the chocolate seems to melt faster than the butter. That's nearly done. I think I'll just swap these over for a second. This is the hotter side of the agar, and I just want to bring that milk up to a gentle boil. And I've got a hand blender here. You can do this really simply with a potato masher.
Oh, the chocolate's melting.
So there we go. We've got our first few bubbles in there. Can you see some bubbles, Bunny?
Yeah, and the chocolate.
Look, yeah, almost all melted. The butter's the only stuff that's left. Isn't that weird? So there's what we've got. Our chestnut and milky paste.
That smells lovely.
Because it smells like chocolate. What you can do is we need to mix these together. Just mix in the egg yolks.
Can I do it?
Yeah, with the sugar. Mix that into the milk and the chestnuts. There you go. Right, now while Bonnie's doing that, and the chocolate is just finishing off, I'll just show you what you need. This is about a 12-inch baking tray. What do I do? Cut myself some baking paper. And there's the bottom done. Right, so with the leftover butter, make a nice sticky edge. Get the cake tin. Line the edge as well. Look, all of that has melted. Right, and the edges are still quite cool. So no danger here. And let's see how well Bonnie's mixed this. Oh, good job. Pop that straight in there. You want to stir it in? You want to stir it in?
Yeah.
Go on then. How's it going?
Good.
Oh, look at all those lovely stripes in there.
Is it done yet?
I think it needs maybe a tiny little bit more stirring. Let me have a go. Now that's it. It's all the same colour. And here's the tricky bit. So I'm going to do this. It smells nice, doesn't it? So you want to keep all of the air in your egg whites. Which means you don't just mix them in.
You flatten them in.
No, you do what's called folding them in.
How do you fold them?
Okay, I'll show you. Good question. We'll use that one again in a second. But you go around the edge and fold it over. Round and fold. Round and fold. Round and fold. Trying not to be too brutal with all the white stuff because we want it to stay nice and airy. So this is the only bit that you need to take a little bit of care with, really. I think that's done.
Smells lovely.
It smells smells lovely, but it tastes lovely as well. Would you like a little taste?
Yeah.
Well, at this point, because our eggs had
Yum, yum, yum.
a stamp on them, that means that they can be eaten raw safely, although, as you can probably tell, health and safety isn't the primary concern in my kitchen. You can lick that. Tell the people on the camera what you think.
It's delicious.
Delicious is a good word, I like that. Right, so here's our cake tin. All we want to do, pour this gently in. It's gonna rise and then sink. So we're about halfway up the tin. Get some chocolate on your face, Bubba, go on. Okay. Bonnie's enjoying that. Right. Okay, over here, Attila. Now, as I said, cake making is normally a little bit of a science, but even the oven temperature with this particular chocolate and chestnut torte is not something you have to be precise with. So I'm going to use the agar. Now, because the top's been open, the agar's lost a little bit of heat, means I'm estimating it to be at about 175. It will lose a bit more heat while this is cooking. You want your oven anywhere between sort of 155 and 175. It's just going to affect the cooking time.
Yum, yum,
So
yum, yum.
half an hour at 170 is roughly what you want. But there's a simple way to test, and you do that to check whether your torte is ready. So I'm going to pop this in for about 20-25 minutes and then come and check it. Here we go. There we are. Thank you very much. High five. Good cooking, Bonnie. Right, let's go and wait for half an hour and see what our chocolate and chestnut torte is like. Let's clean up now. You're really good at cleaning up, aren't you, Bonnie? Right, so that's been in for about 25 minutes, I think. Checked it once. And there we are. Look at that. Don't touch it. Stay back. It's very hot. That you can't. Yeah, no, it's too hot right now. But that cracking on the top's totally normal. What we want to see is a tiny bit of wobble. Ooh, this might have had 2 minutes too long, Bonnie, but that doesn't matter. It looks very tasty to me.
Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
When can I eat it?
After it's cooled down, Bubba.
How long would that take?
Probably half an hour.
Yum!
So I'm just going to leave it on this cooling rack for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge for about another 15 minutes to cool down, and then we'll taste it. Three, two, one.
Blast off! People back.
Right, this is nearly cooled down, but someone's got impatient, so we're going to... But actually, the turkey curry's nearly ready, Bonnie. Do you want turkey curry first?
Okay.
Okay, right. Peel this off gently around the edge. I'll go from this side. Did you just sneak a bit?
No, it fell off.
There's another bit that fell off. And another bit. And there we go. So it rose, and now it's sunk. And it's got a lovely, airy, spongy texture. This goes so well with some whipped cream and raspberries. But Bonnie is insisting on having a little bit before her turkey curry. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll do a little slice for you, a little slice for Attila, and a little slice for me. Now it's still warm in the middle. There's one for you. One for Attila. Where are you going with that?
Going to the morning then.
Oh, are you? And you can have yours in a minute, Mr. Camera Shy.
Thank you.
That is so simple, but so tasty. There you go. And if you would like to get our Forager's Cookbook, go to foraging.co.uk